the night before my big anatomy exam, and the library was a graveyard. Not a single bone box was left. Students were hunched everywhere, piecing together limbs like frantic puzzle enthusiasts. Skeletons sat in chairs, lounged on tables. It was a boneyard party, and I wasn't invited. My grade, my whole future in medical school depended on this. So I went to the librarian, a woman who looked out from under a wild mane of dark hair like a creature startled from its den. "I need a skeleton," I pleaded. "Anything. A damaged one. Irregulars." She gave me a stare that could freeze fire, as if she was sizing me up for a bone box of my own. A deep sadness seemed permanently etched under her eyes. "Irregulars," she repeated, then disappeared into the storeroom. I noticed her hands were gloved. Fastidious, I figured. Bone dust is messy. She returned with an old, grimy wooden crate, the size of an orange box, with tarnished green clasps. "Restricted use," she said, sliding it towards me. It felt strangely light. "Do you want it or not?" she snapped. I grabbed it, signed the card, and found a spot on the floor. When I opened the box, the hinges shrieked. Inside, the bone trays weren't lined with vinyl, but a weird, coppery metal. I started with the foot, confident, but nothing fit. There were too many bones, each one slightly off, with an extra bump here, a weird socket there. The only way to assemble it was into a seven-toed monstrosity with what looked like attachment points for wings, or maybe flippers. This wasn't human. I checked my textbook, but it was useless. A quick scrape with my knife confirmed it. These were real bones, but from what I felt a strange guilt, as if I'd created this freakish thing. I looked up, and only the librarian seemed to be watching me from behind her hair. I quickly broke it apart and moved to the hand. This was even stranger. 6 digits, 2 of which were clearly thumbs, on opposite sides. The fingers were double-jointed, meaning it had a palm on both sides. And the wrist had a ball and socket joint, as if it was meant to connect to another hand. I was getting nervous now, hunching over my work to hide it. The other bones were the same familiar, but warped. Then came the skull. The bones were loose, which was odd enough, but putting them together was a nightmare. I tried 3 times, convinced I was doing it wrong. But no. The skull was double, like 2 heads fused together. It had 2 eye sockets in the usual place, but right in the middle of the impossibly wide forehead was a 3rd one, a 3rd eye. I slammed my textbook shut. This had to be a joke. A cruel prank to mess with a stressed-out med student. I was furious. I packed the bizarre bones back into their box, marched to the counter, and slammed it down. "This may seem funny to you," I fumed, "but I have an exam to pass." "Funny," she replied, one eyebrow raised. "This hoax," I said, hitting the box. "It's a fabrication, an impossibility, is it?" she said, her voice a low taunt. She placed her gloved hands on the crate. "It's not even a good hoax," I insisted. "Anyone with a shred of anatomical knowledge would see through it." "Really?" she said, and then she started to peel off one of her gloves. I was frozen. I wanted to run, but I couldn't look away as the pinkish skin emerged. I found it hard to believe myself. At first, she said, laying her bare hand on the counter, palm up. I counted 5 fingers. A wave of relief washed over me, but the fleshy part of her palm was swollen and red, like a new thumb was about to sprout. A scar, I told myself, just a scar. Then she turned her hand over, and there was another palm on the other side. Her fingers bent upwards, then backwards, forming a cage on the counter. I stumbled back. My brain felt like it was short-circuiting. The names of bones, all the facts I'd memorized, they were all scattering like leaves in the wind. I couldn't look at her face, terrified I might see a third eye socket opening on her forehead. "How many of you are there?" I whispered. "I'm the first, so far as I know," she said, rapping her knuckles on the bone box. "Unless you count our friend here." "But where? Where do you come from?" I stammered, thinking of aliens and spaceships. "Boise," she said. "Boise, Idaho." "Well, a beet farm just outside Boise," she clarified. I pointed a trembling finger between us. "You mean you're human?" She laughed, a sound like bubbles rising through water. "Of course, I'm as human as you are." Her voice dropped to a murmur. "But your hands, your face?" I asked. "Until a few months ago, they were just regular hands," she said, pulling the glove back on. She touched her cheeks, which now seemed unnaturally wide. My face was skinny. My shoes used to fit. "Then what happened?" "I assembled these bones," she said, tapping the crate again. A clatter echoed from inside. My blood ran cold. "You're becoming one of them. So it appears." Her smile was there, but her eyes were still so sad, and they seemed too far apart. Her forehead looked immense under all that hair. "Aren't you frightened?" I asked. "Not anymore," she said softly. "Not since my head began to open." I winced, picturing the double skull in the box. "What is it?" I asked, touching the crate. "I don't know yet, but I'm starting to get glimpses. I see it, alive and flying. Or swimming, maybe. My vision's still blurry." I tried to imagine her, this woman from a beet farm, with wings on her ankles and a third eye. "What kind of creature will you be?" "We'll just have to wait and see, won't we?" she replied. I echoed, taking another step back. "You've put the bones together, haven't you?" I looked down at my own hands. I stared at my palms, then slowly turned them over, examining the skin over my knuckles where an undeniable twitching had just begun.